is LeeAnn White. Are you out there, LeeAnn?
Yes, I am.
What is up? How are you?
I am actually doing very well. It's been a long, interesting road since I joined up with you guys with ER Shred. So it's going real well.
Before you go into that, we want to just cover the bases so all ER Shredders have a chance to get to know you better. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from central Pennsylvania, Selinsgrove. It's due north of Harrisburg. So it's a little town that's surrounded by Amish.
Very cool. Looks like Susanna Sickles got. Oh, there we go. That was my bad. And tell me who originally shared ER Shred with you? Who's responsible for doing that?
Originally, it was shared in my coaching group that I'm a part of with Yvonne Breedlove and Erica Zinman and Cindy Walther and that strain. They posted it. They didn't really know too much about it. And I kind of jumped in to see what it was all about just because I was having issues with things that were going on with my weight and things that my body was just not reacting to the products that the way I wanted them to. So I gave it a try.
Very cool. And what is your passion?
My passion, biking, cycling, and quilting.
Very cool. Biking, cycling, and quilting. And I've been watching you move. If you guys haven't noticed, LeeAnn and her husband have been on a journey. I won't share that journey. That's why one of the reasons she's here tonight. But I've just so enjoyed every time I see your posts of you guys on those bikes. Well, I'm just like proud of you for one, but there's another part of me that's just like, it's very meaningful to me because I know your journey and your story, and I know how meaningful it all is to you. So do you want to start with all of that? How do you want to start, LeeAnn?
I'm going to start when I started with our parent company, Isogenics. Basically, I started when I was turning 50, and I decided I was tired of my previous life. I just wanted something more, something better. I wanted to feel good. And that was in 2014. I had a come alive moment when I first started with, I call it my first awakening. And in 2014, I released 60 some pounds and 72 inches. And I kept that off all the way through till the dreaded virus came about. At that time, things kind of just changed, and it was one of those, we weren't moving as much, we weren't doing as much, and it became, things just weren't working. Things weren't working the same. Basically the products weren't doing what I wanted them to do for my body. And when ER Shred came around, I finally jumped on in January of 2021. So that would have been right after you guys started.
Yeah.
And I did my first shred, and I dropped 15 pounds and inches the very first shred, my second awakening. Since then, my husband and I have been shredders all the way through. We've been following protocol, doing the different shreds, to the point of going through a lot of stressful times. The first year, Scott was diagnosed with heart problems, so we ended up having surgeries. Well, he did, I didn't. I just kind of stuck by him.
Hey, man, you're doing them too, really.
Well, and it's one of these things where we set goals prior to starting the shred that we, wanted to do a lot of biking. And our cycling started out doing a couple miles here and a couple miles there. And then it became, okay, we want to see the US. So we started doing 50, 75 miles in every state. So the ultimate goal was to get to every single state with cycling. And that brought us up to our latest accomplishment, and it wouldn't have been possible unless we were actually following protocol.
What is the latest accomplishment? Share that.
The latest was we signed up. Now I'm going to back up. Scott had a heart surgery in August of last year, so August of 21, and his bounce back recovery was very quick. Within 6 weeks, we were back on the bikes, biking, 5 miles or so. It wasn't a lot. And come spring, we got a brochure in the mail for a Cycle North Carolina. I don't know if anybody on here has ever heard of Cycle North Carolina, but it's where you can choose some different options. And one of the options was cycling from the mountains to the coast. 470 miles total is what it was supposed to be. But good old Hurricane Ann kind of pushed us back 2 days. So we only had 5 of the 7 days. And we spent from his surgery date in spring, post-surgery, training, trying to get ready for this ride. Now you got to understand, up until this year, if we did 5, maybe 700 miles max on the bike, it was a lot. And this year to date, we've accomplished over 2,000 miles.
My gosh.
Since his surgery. And like I said, we do follow protocol. We, we are the high protein, the salt, the oils, the butters, all the way through. And it was questionable when the doctors were like, okay, what are you doing for your nutrition? And he had to fill out his nutrition log going through recovery.
Right.
And it was like, all right, well, these are all foods you shouldn't be eating coming off of what he had done.
Right.
And we were like, well, this is what we've been doing. This is what we're going to continue doing. Ever since I started with our parent company, Isogenics, in 2014, I swear by 2 shakes a day, no matter what. It's always ever been that way. So we were just coming off, we came back on Sunday from completing Cycle North Carolina. Yeah. We completed every single day, no issues on any day. Each day was approximately 75 to 80 miles a day. Both of us finished every single day with, wow, I'm not tired, I'm not exhausted, I feel good. Yeah. We got up Sunday morning after finishing 5 days of riding to get on the bus to be bused back to our car, and we were both like, no, we didn't bike just 5 days, because we don't even feel any different than we do when we bike 20 miles. So I mean, it was really cool just coming back, and it was like our conversations have been, wow. At our ages of 58 and 66, yeah, we're kind of like, okay, this is kind of cool because we feel good. Like I said, it's my second awakening came about with ER Shred, and it's been just a whole progress.
Yeah.
So
I I have a sneaky feeling that you guys should go on that living the shredder life with Jesse and dig deeper into all the ins and outs of all of this, because I'm blown away. I'm sure that everybody that's listening and or online is blown away, because what you're saying is not normal. That's not normal. What was life right before ER Shred? Like, that's I need to ask that. Like, before ER Shred happened in your life, what were you doing? How were you doing then? And what was your fitness levels then?
Before ER Shred, basically we became couch potatoes just because I was putting on weight. And it was one of those things where, like I mentioned, nothing was really working for me. I was getting back to the same way I was feeling prior to starting anything. Very low self-esteem, didn't feel like going out much. Obviously, we weren't going out much. Mm-hmm. And even the exercise levels, yeah, we had the gym membership, but we weren't using it. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those things where there could have been a lot of issues going on, but it was one of the low self-esteem things that really brought me around. And the whole community bit with ER Shred, how everyone, no matter who you are, where you are, or what level you are, treats everyone the same. And it was so evident at Celebration this summer, the family atmosphere. So.
Yeah, you got to meet, I mean, I want to ask you about that. You got to meet some of the shredders in person.
Mhm.
What was that like? Was that yeah, what was that like for you?
It was awesome. I mean, it was like we knew each other all
Yeah.
along. It wasn't even like we were strangers.
Yeah.
Everybody was family. It was
Such a
just
cool
cool.
thing, like the whole like kind
Hmm.
concept. It can be so inclusive because, I mean, not everybody's going to be your like kind, but as long as we don't, um, pigeonhole people, box people in, like everybody can find their like kind. And when you do find your like kind, it's awfully enriching. So, LeeAnn, what else would you like to share tonight in terms of your update? I mean, I wanted to say I love your mantra, which is "Watch us move," because you know that the exercise. Um, I don't like that word mandate. The exercise tenet within ER Shred is move. Just move. You don't have to move as much as LeeAnn and Scott are, but you guys sure do move.
Well, um, that is my hashtag that I've been using right along, is the watch us move. And I will say, even if you're, I mean, yeah, we might bike 50, 60, 70, 80 miles a day. But remember, we started with a mile. We went a mile out and a mile back. Pretty soon that mile became 2 miles to 4 miles, and it just kept doubling. And there's days we only get on the bike and do 5 miles still. But I'll tell you what, just like today, we came back on Sunday after riding all last week, and it was like we didn't get on the bikes on Monday. We drove all day Sunday, all day Monday, and it was like Tuesday. It was like, oh man, we got to do something. Today's Wednesday, and it was like, I'm sorry, I'm getting on the bikes. We got on the bikes, and Scott and I, if you watch any of our videos and things, we're normally connected by headsets. And when I got on the bike today, I said, catch me if you can, and I took off. And I was 10 minutes ahead of him all the way around, and we did 8 miles, and the 8 miles literally didn't even take 35 minutes. And so, I mean, I'm seeing increase in endurance, speed, the whole everything right across the board. And it's one of these things. My ultimate goal is to bike across the US.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, and I want to do that before I turn 60. So we'll, that's my next.
You're gonna have a whole ER Shred fan club cheering you on as you bike across the US.
Oh, I did get a lot of comments on the jerseys also when we biked. We wore those one of the days across North Carolina.
So cool. I'm
So
loving this. I want to make sure I ask about like Scott, like how's he doing? Is he also, following his blueprint protocol, so to speak, and how's he doing?
he's doing awesome. He's been released of everything from the doctor. The doctor said, just keep doing what you're doing, and gave him the okay to go and do. Unlike last summer before the surgery, we were told to keep it under 10,000 feet. This year it's like go. So
Neat. What a relief. That's great. Way to live out loud. Way to get out and show others how to live. I mean, I'm just blown away by you guys. And I just, every time I see a video of you guys, I like share it to my story because I know how many ER shredders there are out there that are following along and want to, keep posted on you.
thank you.
All right, LeeAnn, thank you so much. You're amazing. Any last tip or pointer for ER shredders? You're veteran now, you're master shredders. Any last tip or point that you'd like to share with people who are, maybe just getting started?
My tip would be just keep watch of the things that you add back in, because there's always something that's a culprit. It might be that thing that you love the most. And you know what? Just like Dexter was saying last night, you can have it, but you're going to pay. And
Mm,
I will tell you, one of mine is nuts of any sort, peanuts, tree nuts, brown nuts. And my reaction is totally different than probably anybody else's. I get excruciating leg and knee pain in one leg.
yeah.
And every time I have it, it's like I love them.
Mhm.
And it's a great snack as you're riding because it's that instant protein going in. but I pay for it. And it's like, you have to kind of just keep that in mind. And the other thing is just follow protocol. The tracks are there. And it's not always just the beef, it's all the proteins. So
Right.
enjoy.
So for you, thank you so much, LeeAnn. We love you.